Okay, let's dive into this explainer. When we think about the next great scientific frontier, our minds almost automatically jump straight to outer space. But the truth is, one of the most mysterious, complex, and promising frontiers is actually right here on Earth, waiting quietly beneath the waves. So today, we're exploring the genuinely fascinating world of blue biotechnology, the ocean's hidden solutions.
70%. Just think about that for a second. That is how much of our planet's surface is covered by the ocean. It's a staggering figure to try and wrap your head around, really. Yet, despite its massive, dominating size, the ocean remains a largely untapped resource. We're talking about an incredibly diverse ecosystem here, one that holds the raw biological potential to solve some of humanity's biggest, most pressing crises, from revolutionary medicine to sustainable energy and so much more. So what exactly is this field? Well, fundamentally, blue biotechnology is the study and utilization of marine and aquatic organisms to develop valuable products for scientific, industrial, medical, and environmental applications. Basically, we're combining heavy-hitting disciplines like marine biology, microbiology, and biochemistry to explore the rich genetic biodiversity of fish, algae, bacteria, fungi, and invertebrates. In short, we're figuring out exactly how these aquatic life forms can be directly harnessed for human benefit. Which brings us to our first main topic, microsolutions to macro problems. To really understand these microsolutions, we have to look past the giant macro scale of the ocean itself. Hidden right beneath the waves are literally trillions of tiny biological factories working away, producing natural compounds we are only just now beginning to understand. This breakdown brilliantly illustrates the applications. For example, marine sponges and algae are unlocking new anti-cancer drugs and pharmaceuticals. Fish and shellfish are driving aquaculture forward through disease-resistant breeding. And those deep-sea bacteria? They're offering cold-active enzymes for heavy industrial use. It's an incredible mapping of raw biology directly to real-world solutions. Let's look a bit closer at those medical and aquaculture innovations, because the progress here is rapid fire. In medicine, unique bioactive compounds from the sea are being developed into powerful anti-cancer and anti-inflammatory drugs, as well as brand new antiviral agents and antibiotics. It's a real game changer. Meanwhile, in the world of aquaculture, we're breeding disease-resistant fish, improving feed efficiency, and developing new vaccinations. Meaning, we aren't just pushing critical cancer research forward, we're also directly supporting global food security by massively increasing our capacity for healthy seafood production. Let's shift gears now to our next section, powering and cleaning the planet. Now ask yourself this, what if the very same marine ecosystems we just talked about could actually hold the key to cleaning up our most severe environmental disasters? It sounds a bit like science fiction, right? But blue biotechnology is actively doing this. Scientists are using specific marine organisms for the bioremediation of oil spills, essentially deploying nature's own microscopic cleanup crew to safely break down toxic pollutants. Plus, massive beds of marine algae are being utilized for critical carbon capture initiatives, actively pulling carbon dioxide right out of the atmosphere to help mitigate climate change. And speaking of the power of algae, their incredibly fast growth makes them a highly productive foundation for clean, sustainable biofuels, like bioethanol and biodiesel. Because they grow so densely and efficiently in aquatic environments, they offer an incredible, renewable energy alternative that doesn't force us to compete with traditional agriculture for valuable land space. And, as a bonus, they're even being turned into high-value nutritional supplements and cosmetics. Here's something that might surprise you. Bacteria living deep down in the ocean, in some of the harshest, darkest, and coldest environments on the planet, produce completely unique cold-active enzymes. Because these enzymes naturally evolved to function under those extreme conditions, they are incredibly useful for industrial food processing and biotechnology research. Why? Because sometimes you need powerful chemical reactions to happen at very low temperatures to save on massive energy costs, and these little guys hit the nail on the head. But what's the catch? Let's just pause the narrative for a second here. Because, let's be real, as incredible as all these medical breakthroughs, clean fuels, and environmental solutions are, accessing these ocean solutions isn't exactly a walk in the park. We have to ground ourselves in the reality of the situation and look honestly at the hurdles in front of us. So let's weigh this impartially. On one hand, the advantages are absolutely massive. Unprecedented access to unique bioresources, the discovery of novel drugs, sustainable fisheries, and highly eco-friendly applications. But on the flip side, the limitations are equally steep. The deep sea is incredibly hostile, creating massive physical and logistical barriers.
and that leads to extremely high research and exploration costs. Furthermore, once we actually manage to retrieve these organisms, well, we face highly complex challenges just trying to cultivate them in a standard lab setting. Which brings us to a crucial point, summarized perfectly by this quote from our sources. Overexploitation of marine resources must be carefully managed to avoid ecological damage. It is such a delicate balance. While we're eager, and rightly so, to harness marine genetics and biodiversity to solve massive human problems, we must be incredibly careful not to destroy the very ecosystems we're exploring. Environmental concerns over marine exploitation are entirely valid, and sustainability simply has to be the absolute priority at every single step. Let's look ahead to our final section, the future of marine innovation. Despite those very real logistical and environmental challenges, the sheer momentum in this field is undeniable. We are seeing massive, rapid advances in marine genomics and deep-sea exploration technologies that are actively lowering those physical barriers to entry. And this is leading directly to the accelerated development of marine-derived drugs finally hitting the market. At the same time, sustainable aquaculture innovations and algae-based biofuel production are scaling up worldwide. These specific, tangible advancements are the exact tools we need to address our global challenges in health, food, and energy. So, will the deepest parts of our oceans hold the key to our future? It's a fascinating, provocative question to leave you with as we close out this explainer. The blue economy is truly just waking up. We have barely scratched the surface of the waters that cover the vast majority of our planet. Thank you so much for exploring this topic with me today. I'll leave you to ponder the immense, uncharted potential resting right now in the ocean's depths.